Now, on a global level, if we react without thinking, so if we enact that immature warrior, okay, we actually we perpetuate a karmic pattern, tit for tat, like, oh, you pissed me off, so I'm going to do this to you. Oh, well, if you're going to do that to me, I'm going to do this to you. And we throw a pile of shit in the other direction. And guess what? The shit escalates and we end up in a shitstorm. So when revenge is the motivator, you're both going down. You've already lost because you're playing at that level of the game, okay? And all you do is lock each other into a karmic dance, not just for this lifetime, but for many lifetimes. So really, there are no winners when you're playing at that level. It is the level of vigilante justice, okay? Because you don't believe in a divine justice. You're not even aware of the quantum laws of physics, the natural justice of the universe. So when we act out in this way, from the bottom two energy centers, from the physical and the emotional energy centers, all right, we are using brute force fueled by lower emotion. And that might give us some immediate gratification, okay? It's like I get to blow off steam, I get to, expel this energy that feels like you're going to combust, like the Incredible Hulk. And you can feel that you're righting a wrong. But what it does is it invites an equal and opposing force, all right? Just like, those things that we had in the 1970s that swing like this. If you come and swing in a punch, guess what? Boom, you're going to get one back. So, the chance of things escalating in terms of protests and riots is high this month of October. But I would encourage you to consider that whilst it might feel good to go out there and, take a slug at the frontline defense of the empire, okay, those who are wearing the uniform like the stormtroopers, the police, the riot gear, or the, UN police as they are now in the smart city network. But this is akin to the little pig who builds his house out of straw. Its remedy is short-lived because it's impatient, okay? So, it's quick to act and quickly dismissed, all right? Those that were there are locked up, and the streets are cleared and it's like it never happened, okay? All it actually does is fuel the justification for more top-down oppression. So it actually plays into their hands, right? So if we respond from the next level up, which is the solar plexus, the mental, or the lower mental body, the rational, 10% rational mind, then we apply strategy, okay? And instead we will go through the legal channels to achieve our ends, such as class actions, which, are more beneficial than petitions. But instead of using brute force, we're using our wits, okay? Now, whilst we may not end up in jail or sustaining physical injuries like we would if we responded from just the physical and the emotional level, we may surely end up losing both time and money, which is what the ego values most, because the mind is the level of, the ego. Because we get caught in a power struggle within the court system, okay? And we get caught up in the machinations of the mind, of words. And what does this word really mean? I mean, fuck me. I sat next to the judge for a few years doing the transcripts in Supreme Court, County Court, Magistrates Court. And and federal court here in Australia, and the amount of time and money that's wasted debating a single meaning of a word, really. So this level of response is akin to the little pig that builds his house of sticks, right? It's somewhat stronger than the straw, but it really is not the end game solution, all right? So all it does is make barristers very wealthy. You're still feeding the system, and the system is what is corrupt, all right? We now know that this goes all the way to the top. You know, we have high court judges that are involved in these elite pedophile rings. So, you know, the system of justice is also not necessarily the place to be trying to get true justice and resolution. The best response, and this may feel counterintuitive, is to respond from the level of the soul. Okay, this is from the heart. And we do this by restoring the balance within, like the rainmaker. So we transform ourselves rather than trying to change somebody or something outside of ourselves. Banging our head against a brick wall, using all of our energy to try and build, affect change out there, rather than doing what it is we can do, which is be the change, as Gandhi said, that we want to see in the world. So this is akin to the little pig who builds his house from bricks. It is a solid foundation for widespread social change. And of course, when we have social change, we have change on all levels, you know, economic, environmental. But it starts with spiritual change. It starts with a single thought. All change starts with a single thought. It starts with awareness.